Cool. So this stamina thing feels like a problem. I sure wish I had more stamina. Just looking at the view help? Oh yeah, we had to wait so that the wolves go by. I'm gonna wait longer. We don't want to have to deal with Vic and friends. Am I gonna get teleported again? Is that really how this works? Ugh. Stride forward. Something is keeping pace with you. Keep going. Draw my sword. Let's battle, spiny boy. I think we decided that whatever he's doing is going to be sub 4, unless something interesting happens. It braces its back legs. Sub 5. Dribbles and cries in a pitiful wail was a small attack. Correct. There is only forward. Apparently, small attack is... I am almost dead. Thick, heavy stance? Well, if I don't kill it, I'm dead. Whew. And again, because I can't defend. Ooh, lucky. Competent. Not that competent. No tells? Oof. Dribbles and cries in a pitiful wail is the same as no tells. Spine bend is defend. We figured that one out. Pulled back, I think we can... Oh, pulled back is also defend, huh? That sucks. Try again. Alright, please don't kill me. No tells. 5.1. Yep, correct. Drops his head low as small attack. No tells, so I defend? I can't get high enough to stop it, whatever it's doing. It's going to defend. Alright, whatever it is, we can kill it. Paw the ground is a big attack. Alright. I guess I'll take the 1 stamina. Is a no-tell better or worse than a motel? Oh, good question. It's probably worse than a hotel, but better than a motel. And in all cases, everything is better than a Holiday Inn. So now I gotta lose another max stamina going back in time? Man. Alright, so I have an idea as to what I want to try here. And that is... Recite the spell. By Korga's grace and Forga's pride. Tumblers too sealed deep inside. I bid you portals open wide. I know. Hey, Lorag. Fix it. This might be... Whoa, whoa, whoa. What did he say? What did they say? This might be your last chance. The effect of the spell on your body has got worse every time. Okay. So worst case, I will just have to rewind manually. Your soul cannot take much more of this. Wow. I might actually fail. So here's what I want to do here. If I look at all of them, all of the newer tombs, and go tomb by tomb, eventually I can fight the Death Wraith out here. But now I can fight it because I have the silver sword. But it's a pretty bad weapon. Time to drink some Blimberry. Some more frame issues? I think that's just on your end, Senna. But now we can actually fight it. And maybe if I kill it here, it won't be there when we get into the thing. Start off with a defense. Yup. Good idea. The Death Wraith drifts forward, one hand reaching for your neck, the other holding its blade aloft. It howls with icy rage as it approaches, knife outstretched. You gather your wits and drop into a defensive crouch. You turn most of the blow, then adjust your grip and try to settle your nerves. No tells! No tells on this Death Wraith. Defend? That could have worked. You steady your guard high. The Death Wraith wails and sings as it slashes its blade backwards and forwards. You parry in a flash of sparks and metal. Something dark flutters across your face. It reaches out with long skeletal fingers. I will come for your blood, it hisses. I will suck you dry. Oh, I don't like that. Is that good or bad? I don't know. Let's charge. Cool. That was a small attack. We could have done a small attack. Is this the same? Like, it hissing? Is that a small attack? The chill of the graveyard is all around you as you seize the moment to strike. You charge forward. You cut across his cruel blade, and the wraith moves between the headstones. The Death Wraith does not bleed, but seems to flicker. It leans forward with crooked hands. Your heart will be mine, the wraith hisses. It will stop. So we have a blood hiss and a heart hiss. Blood hiss was a really small attack. Maybe heart hiss also a small attack? Heart hiss also a small attack. You keep up your desperate attack. You swipe the Death Wraith with your blade. You move above his dagger. This Death Wraith shimmers for a moment, its skull mask seeming to slip. Is that a defend? Nope, that's a big attack. Then the Death Wraith is at your throat. Try a fast attack, keeping yourself as much covered as you can. It stabs out violently. It reaches out with hooked, bony fingers. I can taste your life, the creature wails. I am hungry. Alright, so we have a blood hiss and a death hiss, or a heart hiss, which were both small. Shimmer's skull mask was a big attack. I can taste your life. Maybe that's also a small attack? Maybe if he's talking, it's a small attack? Seems to be pretty consistent. And now we have no tell, which means it's probably a big attack. You ready your sword to strike, finding the Wraith's thin form. You harry the Death Wraith with the sword. You cut across his curved blade. The Death Wraith is growing paler and more gray. You're injuring it! This guy is brutal. This guy is brutal. Can I get lucky? I can get lucky. 2 stamina lost. Alright, cool. You hurry back onto the path before the creature can rise again. In the fields of the graveyard, you see other specters rising from the earth. What? I can't go onto the tomb? Why can't I go onto the tomb? I killed the Death Wraith! Come on! Come on! Aww. Alright, I guess that's useless. I guess that's useless. Well, I can drink the water, so that's helpful. But this isn't good enough. This is, yeah, this isn't going to solve it. We need to go further back. We need to find a way to get light into the tomb. We can do it with sun if we have the right jewel, but I don't know where the right jewel is. I don't know what else we could do there. I have no idea what other solutions there are. Maybe I could have a torch? Maybe torches are real? Man, if a torch was real, that would help a lot. I don't know how I would acquire a torch. Nor do I know how I would acquire the gem. All this back in time stuff is doing me no good. It kind of is, Cryptomancer. Like, this definitely has not worked out so far. It feels like what I want to do... No, that doesn't help either. At this point, it's fairly clear that the Goblin King is Sansis, or whatever his name is, right? So talking to the rat isn't going to help me at all. Is there a place where I can use Tell on the Goblin King? That would be great, actually. Alright, so we know that we don't know the answer. So we'll try to force open the doors. It's not going to work. Wait. I do not. Alright. Look at the well. Run to hide. Maybe I can cast telepathy? Hang back. Nope. Hang back is wrong. Kill the figure allows me to cast a spell? But I don't think it allows me to cast telepathy here, does it? I think it's too easy, I guess. Yep, Tell is not an option. Maybe in the sewers telepathy? That seems like it would be a little too easy, no? Being the only other option, might as well try it. Are there any other spells I could cast here? Is it the same set of spells? It's probably the same set of spells, huh? That doesn't help. We could maybe jig, but I don't have the bamboo flute. I could walk, but that doesn't seem helpful. And I could throw fireballs at them, but I don't even have the stamina for it. Will take them an hour, perhaps, to pass through the necropolis into the market and the Red Quarter. Once again, Lorag's ghost. Okay. So I guess we'll go back even further, huh? Apparently, I cannot just kill the Dread Wraith outside of the tomb and then go into the tomb, which is really unfortunate. It feels like that should work. But there's so much city in this goddamn city. This place is such a mess. I wonder if I go in there and pray. Like, if I go back far enough, can I just be in the necropolis and pray? Like, will praying work? Will the gorilla help me against the Death Wraith? Let's see if this works. Whoa there. Alright, straight in, because I know where I'm going here. Shinva's Mausoleum. Continue. Make a move. Jump over the ring. Into the tomb. Make a move. Go down the stairs. Let it close. Now it's dark. Feel for the stairs. And we're going to try and go downstairs and see if we can pray here. Pray? No, apparently not. Keep going. Fight. Pray? I really want prayer to work here, but I guess prayer doesn't work here. Yeah, there's no way out of this. I mean, I can still get the, I can still get the silver thing. Which I should do. Since that's the only way to fight the Dreadwraith. But I need a light source or something. Once I get in there. I wonder if mag works against portal traps. Huh. Huh. Mag works against portal traps. That's cool. So, just as good as, -3 silver sword. Just as good as growing big, I guess. Is there a way to manage this? Cast a spell. Different spells? Same spells? Inside is different spells. Oh. Featherfall. Fog? We can mag again. Dop. And there is both sap and sun. Cause depression? Is this gonna do anything? You cast the spell, causing the only living creature within sight to begin to lose its will and vitality. You! Wow. This is not the outcome I was expecting. Freely admitted. The gloom of the mausoleum becomes overpowering, and you can hardly lift your head to look around. You might as well sink into the dirt right now, or rot standing up. At least you'll have a decent tomb. Much better than if you die out in the backlands, as you were likely to do. You settle down on the ground in order to have less of a shock when you die, as at least you will not fall. Time passes, but it hardly seems to matter. It is the end. Until, quite suddenly, your spirits rise. Perhaps things aren't so bad after all. Surely you can escape this place if you try a little harder. The spell lifts, and so does your heart. Fascinating. Was that just wasted time? Wasted time and a stamina. So yes. Now maybe casting Sus before I go down gives me the information that I can fight the Deathwraith? You have found one new clue, have I? Only silver weapons can harm the undead. Cool. Unafraid of what you might find below, you make your way towards the stairs. Yep. Let it close. That's fine. Rattle of chains. Yep. And now it's dark. There is no spell that is helpful. Fear for the stairs. Don't go down? Fascinating. Rewind that. Don't go down is not what I want. I'm hoping that having sussed, I will know... Nope, nothing changes here. Stab with a silver sword. Oh, it does change. What? You lash out with a silver sword and feel it connecting with your attacker, who groans and moans. But in the darkness, you miss as often as you hit, while their grip on your neck is squeezing every last drop of air from your lungs. You begin to choke. Can I pray? No. Apparently I can stab, so that's cool. Struggle? Alright, so knowing that I can stab with a silver sword, unfortunately doesn't cause anything effective to happen here. Might have to do with me having one stamina? I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I would like to be able to cast Sun, but I don't have the jewel that is required in order to be able to cast it. 0 G spells I can cast. I can cast Sun, but I don't have a Sun jewel. We tried Force Field, and that didn't help. We tried Fireball, that didn't help. How just told us that there was no escape. And we don't have the necessary horn to cast Huff. Can't cast Sus here, only Sun. Yep, none of the spells are useful. Alright, well, I guess the answer is search somewhere else. Where do I go? Yeah, it must come from further in the past, I agree. So where do I have to go? How far back do I need to travel? Oh, I think this is far back enough that I now don't have the third line either. Boo. Goblin army. Oh, no, I totally do. Sweet. God, where do I think I need to go? Far back enough that I didn't kill the guard? We could try that. That was to here. Alright, so... This was the inn where we met, Fanker? What was his name? The assassin guy. Now, where might I find a sun jewel? That's a real question. There is a market. I wonder if the market has a sun jewel. Not that I have any money. We paid all of our money. You stretch out beside one of the stalls with your pack beneath your head and close your eyes. Today's been a successful day, and you have made progress towards learning the lines of the North Gate spell. The night passes without incident. The men look this way and that, but then disappear off into the market. You're now free to sleep once more. Morning will be here in just a few more hours. Your dreams are cluttered and crazy. Red-eyed beings loom at you. You seem to be walking forward, traps springing at your feet. Face after face laughs as you ask about the spells. 4, says one. There are 11 spells. 13. 49. I think I've read this before. Meanwhile, the ghost of Lorag laughs and chortles. I have you right where I want you, he exclaims gleefully. And somewhere beneath your feet you hear a man cackling with laughter, and the crown is on his head, beyond your reach. The next morning. As the sun breaks over the rooftops of Lower Kare, the city looks clean and bright, like a stone polished to a shine by a fast-flowing river. The effect lasts for a beautiful moment, and then the people of Kare begin to stir, opening their windows to throw out their slop, shouting and cursing at each other as they do so. Never been to the bridge before. You do not have enough money to buy anything yourself. God, how much do I have to rewind in order to get money? If I rewind that far, I probably don't have the clues anymore, though. Which means we'll have to do a lot of work in order to get there again. I mean, I guess I just rewind that far and then go through the proper motions, right? Because I know where all the pieces are now, so that's not too bad. But I still don't have money. Like, how am I going to get a central? Maybe I don't need to. Maybe there's another way to do it, right? Like, maybe now that I haven't killed a guard, Kurga is willing to help me out. You ignore the various food stalls and watch the river as you wait. After a while, a grizzled old man arrives and unlocks a small booth by the harbor bridge. He goes inside and closes the door behind him. Impatiently, you go over to the booth and knock firmly on the door. The old man lowers down the window and leans out of the booth. What you want? Good morning, you begin cheerfully. Ha, the man replies. Are you going to lower the bridge? The man pulls a face, curling down the corners of his mouth. It's not yet time. When is time? You demand. The man leans into his booth to consult something. His head reappears a few moments later. Tide's gotta go darn, he says. Okay, I can wait. Whatever. No big deal. You wait another half an hour, enjoying the morning sunlight playing on the river. It feels like the first rest you've had since you left the outpost settlement. It's hard to imagine that, had it not been for the Archmage and the Birdmen, you would never have made this journey. Never explored the world outside the Shamutanti wall. You wait a little longer. Suddenly there's a flurry of movement from inside the booth. The old man leaves his booth and goes over to a contraption on the waterfront. He begins to heave and wind an ancient winch. It seems to be quite hard work. He is trying to move the whole weight of the bridge single-handedly. You get to your feet and go over to help the old man out. Get off, he growls. You'll break it. Okay, as you say. You let the man struggle, happy to let him be stubborn. Sweat beads on his forehead, and he heaves and puffs as he works, but eventually the bridge clunks down into place. You salute the man cheerfully and get to your feet. Cross bridge, absolutely. You cross the bridge over the river Jabaji, which runs like a slime trail through the center of the city. So I still have all of this information. I still have all of my magical items. I have not picked up the stake this time, but that's fine. You have reached the banks of Upper Kare. The buildings here are not as grand as on the south side of the river, but they are in much better condition. Fewer people live on this side, away from the fields and the hills, but those that do are richer. They are also most likely more dangerous, but of course it is on this side of the city that the North Gate stands. Follow the road away from the river towards a fork in the road. If there are any nobles still in the city port, their houses are most likely to be on this side of the river. But which way? So this is retracing my steps, right? Drinking from the fountain has always been worthwhile. You cup your hand to the water and drink a mouthful. It is fresh and invigorating, as though the water was enchanted. Looking left, the road heads through into a residential area that seems well cared for. Short way off to the right is an open plaza. Have to explore for yourself. Okay, so I haven't been up here ever. Going down through here gives me a way down to the Fallen Quarter. But I don't need to go to the Fallen Quarter, because I have Theta's Line. I do eventually need to get into the Necropolis. So maybe just exploring parts of the city that I haven't before is worthwhile? Do my clues, spells, objects survive rewind? I don't think so. In fact, I am sure that objects, like objects and stuff, don't survive rewind. Clues, I'm not yet sure, but I doubt it. But by taking the time portal, everything does survive that, so it does like a fake rewind. You follow a narrow, winding street past shops and stalls. It is still early. They are not yet open, but there are stirrings from within the houses as the day's activities begin. A face appears at one window and seems to watch you pass, although the creature's eyes are closed, and you are not sure that it actually notices you. You wave to the creature, but it does not react. Its eyes are still closed. Another similar creature stands in its doorway across the street, washing themselves from a bucket. This one is thin and spindly with a long face. Not exactly a human, and not an elven either, but something in between. These are the red eyes, right? I lost luck? Probably. You try to greet the washing creature, but it too has its eyes closed. Perhaps it is soaping its hair and doesn't want to sting its eyes. At the end of the road, under a low under a low arch, a group of youths are loitering, talking, and kicking stones into the gutter. They notice you and begin to point and talk amongst themselves. Let's not hang out with the youths. You see an opening to one side and nip down it. The youths immediately give chase. They are quick runners, and you'll have to move fast to lose them. But these alleyways are tight, and you cannot see what is around each corner as you approach. I will not run. No, I'll run, that's fine. You race forward, reaching what used to be a crossroads, but the way ahead is blocked by a collapsed building. The youths are right behind me. Oh no, the youths! Right, Senna? Let's try left. You swing quickly left and race past another building to the next crossroads. Straight ahead, you see what looks like a metal hoop lying on the ground. The youths are hot on your tail. Let's try right. I don't go over metal hoops. That seems bad. You turn right, not slowing down. Another block on, you reach a turning on the right. The alleyway continues on ahead. You hear a shout. The youths have fallen a little way behind, but they have not lost your trail. Just keep running. You don't slow down, but keep moving. The youths are calling to each other. It seems they've lost your scent. You slow down, turning a few more corners at random, until you emerge onto a wider street. You pause to catch your breath before moving on. Well, okay. All right. We sure did things here, I guess. Follow the road as it narrows. The houses built up against the cliff face become narrower, too, with single buildings divided and divided again, until each dwelling is no wider than its own doorway. Knock on a door just at random? Knock on somebody's door? Sure, why not? You pause to knock on a random door. After a short pause, it opens to reveal a Svin woman wearing a bright blonde wig. She seems surprised to see you. Who are you? She demands. Who sent you? No one sent me. Then what do you want? She folds her arms crossly. What do I want? Am I looking for a priest? I'm not looking for the nobles. I know where the nobles are. I'm new in this city. That doesn't seem like it'll help. I need somewhere to stay. That's actually not that bad an idea either. But we'll go on looking for a priest. Well, this is not the right place, she replies huffily. Priests don't hold with the likes of me. I'm new in Kari. What should I do? She laughs bodily. You're asking me? Here's what you should do, honey. Keep one hand on your money pouch and the other on your sword, and never turn your back for a moment. She nods behind you with your chin. I'm not afraid. Glad to hear it. If you see Sansa hiding in the council, see if you can't make him so confident. We could use some leadership around here. This place is going to the wolves. With that, she slams the door. I guess let's go talk to Lorag. I'm not sure what it'll change. Or help, if anything. A group of young orclings. You increase your stride, hoping to breeze straight past, but the gang is big enough for them to easily block the road. You are soon right in their midst. Their hands poke at you and push outwards, hoping for a donation. Ignore them. They're trying to steal from you. Take my leave. Easy. For Lorag, perhaps? We're gonna go talk to Lorag. Again. Oh, I wonder what this does. We didn't do this last time. You move confidently and with stealth. Dropping to all fours, you sneak through the gate and crouch low below the window at the side of the house. From inside, you can hear someone talking, intoning quietly to themselves, a sound that reminds you of the chanting of the chief mage back in Analand. You stay crouched low, hoping to catch words you understand. A spell! Exclaims the speaker then. Or is it a spell? You listen a moment longer. Deimos, Igneous, and Maxis, the voice explains. Of course! Then he laughs and falls quiet. Deimos, Igneous, and Maxis sound a lot like the names of stars. Let's creep around the back. You creep to the cover of an outbuilding. It was perhaps once a storehouse, but its contents have now burst through its walls. Broken items and bits of glass tumble out between bent wooden slats and through fractured window panes. Looking back at the house, you can make out a door into the rear of the house. I'll look through the junk, absolutely. You pick cautiously through the junk. There is the shattered remains of a gold-backed mirror, rather like the one you already own, some fragments of an orb of crystal, and half of a pearl ring with what looks like a bite mark taken out of it. The owner of this house must be a wizard, and none not afraid to experiment with valuable equipment either. Try to repair something? Orb of crystal is scrying, and has revealed secrets to me before. Pearl ring, what does the pearl ring help with? Pearl ring is Yaz, which is invisibility to intelligent creatures. That's fascinating. You could try to repair the crystal. You lift the crystal shard from the junk cautiously. Once, this orb would have contained swirling depths and a deep fog, and allowed the user to cast a spell of foreshadowing. But now it's good for nothing. Most of it is missing. You fling it aside. You hear a noise from near the back door. If I do this, am I going to get caught? Nope. You pick up the piece of the ring. There really are tooth marks in it. Something has eaten the pearl itself. Or perhaps they ate the person wearing the ring and spat this part out? Either way, it is incomplete and cannot be repaired. You toss it back into the junk heap. The back door of the house opens suddenly, and a figure emerges. It is Lorag, only now he is no ghost, but an elderly man with a spiky-skinned, lizard-like creature curling at his feet. "Who goes there?" he claims, in a voice of rage and fury. "Are you a thief, trespassing in my garden?" "Are you Lorag?" "I am," the man says, unimpressed. "And who are you? You look a trustworthy sort." "I do I? Even though I am a thief, trespassing in your garden." "I am a sorcerer, like you." "Well," he admits, "sorcerers are not known for their social graces, certainly." He passed the lizard at his feet, clearly relaxing in your company somewhat. "I have something for you? Do I?" What? He was real... What? This is extremely abrupt. What spell could I cast about this bristle beast? Law? We have Gum and Gak, neither of which I can actually cast. I could zap it, but that doesn't seem like it would make him appreciate me much. Ooh. Wait, Kid? Interesting. But I can summon a replica. That's interesting. I like that idea. I haven't used it before. You cast the spell, holding up the mirror, and casting the spell. Lorag sighs with displeasure, but not before the mirror has begun to glow, and an identical bristlebeast has clambered from the frame and into the corridor. The two animals circle each other, then jump to the attack. Is this necessary? Lorag complains. Call off your beast, you reply. Very well, as you wish. You cancel the spell, surprising the bristlebeast as its opponent vanishes. He gestures you further into the house. This way, please. Huh! Fascinating. You follow him into his study, an elegant room lined floor to ceiling with books. I've met your ghost, you tell him with great glee. He haunts the north gate of this city. He claims to have founded the city as well. The most curious notion, the wizard replies, not dismissing your remark. I have often thought there are aspects of this city's design that are just as I would have chosen. I will think on it, stranger, believe me. The scholar's pet is winding around his leg. He ruffles its spines absently. Aretius, he murmurs, as a good beast. So are you a sage or a sorcerer? He laughs. Neither. I am a teacher, he replies. A scholar. But I like to think of myself as wise enough, and when I have studied books, I have studied sorcery. I seek to understand how it came to be, for it is the beginning of something that determines its true power. The old man seems to have a thought, and goes over to a cupboard, taking out 2 glasses. Some wine while we talk. The wine has been pretty good. I'm told you can help me open the north gate. He looks at you seriously. You are on a mission, I see that. It is your mission to destroy Kare, or to save it? Well, I guess now it is to save it. So, I suppose we have some more understanding of this dialogue. I will save it. I will save all the lands. I'm on a mission to retrieve the Crown of Kings. The scholar nods deeply. It is a good mission. For such a mission, they would send a powerful fighter and a great sorcerer. Let me see. He goes over to his bookshelf, returning with a paper folder. You know, of course, how magic comes to be in this world. Of course, we've had this conversation. Good. Then you will understand what I will show you now. Right. These were discovered, painted on the walls of the Daddy Lay Caves. Well, yes, I do know what they are because you told me last time. They're spells. Oh, crap. I don't remember what this was. I think this was dim? I think this was dim. I can guess its effect. It's a spell of confusion. Oh, what did we say? We said this was dim, and this was, tell, I think? Mind reading? Trying to remember what the other ones are. It's not Doc, because that uses the same lowercase d, right? Right, so it can't be Doc. So I think it's mind reading, if I'm remembering correctly. Yes, okay, great. Take the paper. This is such a weird dialogue. I'm not going to take the paper out for him. And we determined that this was Zed, right? There's no other ZE spell, right? Oh, there is Zen. We know Tell and Dim. But if it's one of the symbols that we know, it has to be this one. A lucky guess. Close your eyes and draw a symbol. I know of it. He tells you his line and you nod. It is as you have already been told. Yes, yes. Shinva still haunts the necropolis. Alright, well, we did this before, and we got the green wig out of it. So let's get the green wig again. And we have to cast Mag here, otherwise we lose. So let's cast Mag. I'm okay with this. Yep, this worked the way we expected it to, and now I have the wig again, so that's good, right? It's good to have the wig. I have the wig. It's probably good. Well, this didn't really progress our plan much, if at all. Excuse me, is the district on fire? That doesn't sound familiar. A blacksmith? Okay. It is a fire, but not a blazing house. Instead, it comes from an enormous forge set into a large blacksmith's shop. Steal something? That sounds dangerous. You walk over and tap his arm, and the blacksmith jumps. "Didn't see you there!" he bellows, too loudly. The man is clearly not that bright. "Didn't mean to scare you." "Not scared!" the blacksmith replies hotly. "Me? Are you? Nah." The blacksmith polishes his blade lovingly. "Tell me about your swords." "This one's my finest," he replies proudly, indicating the blade he is currently polishing up. "A blade of large hand." Large hand? Large hand. This blacksmith agrees. "It's large handry." Large hand? It's large handry. I don't understand. You reach out to try the blade, but the blacksmith catches your arm. "I warn ya," he says. "Once you've tried it, you won't want any other. And it's not a cheap blard." The way that they write down people's accents in this game is just completely off the wall bonkers. "I'll risk it." The blacksmith shrugs and releases your arm. "Go on then." You pick up the blade and swing it through the air. It sings. The weight is perfect, the metal sharpened. The balance so delicate it becomes almost an extension of your arm. This is the finest blade you have ever held. You shrug. "It's a fine work," you reply. The blacksmith nods and takes the blade back with loving care. "It'll find its owner sooner enough, I'm sure." "Do you make wolf armor?" you ask, thinking about the strange werewolf you saw. The blacksmith looks at you with fierce cold eyes. "Vic for first Narble," he replies, but says nothing more. "Who is Vic?" "He's the boss," the blacksmith replies. "Has been for a long time. Just making it official." The blacksmith quickly hammers something. The noise makes your head spin. You bid the blacksmith and the blade farewell and leave the shop. That's interesting. Vic for first noble. The inhabitants of Kare are greeting each other with a slogan. Vic for first noble. Ah, maybe that's the passcode for the werewolves. That's actually a useful thing we've discovered, potentially. Potentially useful. I remember this statue. Although none of the passing creatures seem to be throwing any in. It's election season in Kare 2. For some reason, for some value of election. I think their plan is forcible takeover. Which is maybe different from how our elections work. Looking down the short street to the right, you see a sign above the doorway reading, The Gambling Halls of Vlada. Several seedy-looking creatures mill about on the steps. Cheerful creatures go in, and miserable-looking ones come out. I see. It's too bad I don't have any money, otherwise I would totally gamble. There's a bunch of other places that we haven't been either. I think last time we just went straight down here. I mean, we could go up and straight back down, but maybe I'll just explore. The Halls of Vlada seems like not a good idea. Also, don't take the money from the statue, probably. You follow the road to a wide open space laid out for a market. There are several stalls, all selling the same goods, their traders arguing loudly over who has the cheapest or the best quality. I definitely want to browse magic items. A sun jewel! Oh my god. Exorbitant price of 15 gold pieces. Too bad I have 0 money. You lift the gem and turn it over in your hand. It shimmers with an incandescent inner beauty, and you can see why someone might buy this as a trinket for their lover. But with the correct magic, you know that inner glow can be made into a powerful beacon of light, if only you could afford it. Do I have to rewind to before I lost all my money in order to make this work? I think I have a sense of the path I want to take through the entire city now. And I might be able to kind of speedrun it. But, it does require going a lot back in time. Specifically back in time to before I lost all my money. Which is before I got rewound by the spell at all. Which means we're going to lose a lot of our existing progress. But I think I know where to go in order to get most of it back. So I'm kind of thinking I actually do that. I think we just go all the way back. Which is real unfortunate. But we can make it work, I think. I might still need a rewind. I'm not positive of that. And given how much money I'm going to need, I want to go back to before I lost my money here. We're not going to go visit the dancing bear. Alright, yeah. Alright, here we go. Actually rewinding all the way back. Dawn of the first day. So much rewinding. Okay, let's see how badly my clues have fared now that we've rewound. Oh, yeah, okay. So now I have literal nothing. But I can keep my money by not doing anything here. And none of this was particularly worthwhile. Although, by going through the Dancing Bear, we did meet up with Franker, or Fanker, or whatever his name was. But, it feels like that actually wasn't that valuable. Like, he didn't actually help me much, right? The problem with doing it this way is I have a bunch of now out-of-game knowledge, which isn't reflected in-game, and there are definitely things in-game that react to your in-game knowledge, but, that I might not be able to do if I only have the out-of-game knowledge. Alright, so we need to get the first line, which was up here. There was like a priest thing that we could talk to. So let's head that way. Keep my money. Where is the bare knuckle fighting ring? Oh, the musicians, if we do the musician thing well, then, they invite us to stay the night with them. So maybe that'll be interesting. That'll at least be some kind of new content. We don't need to keep. We don't need to join in. This was fun. Keep dancing. I enjoyed it. Pack, sword, battle scars. You're not from Kare, are you? Not just here to enjoy the fair. I'm just passing through. Passing through? The man laughs. There's not many as pass through Kare. Most people get stuck, or don't get in at all. I had a hard time getting in, certainly. You'll have a harder time getting out. No kidding. The man sits down on the dirt beside you. My name is Jira. It's good to meet you. So, he says, you helped us get enough coins to pay for our night. How can I help you? I need somewhere to stay. Well, you have to be careful of inns in Kare. Some of them work on commission for the slavers, if you know what I mean. He smiles sadly, and for some reason taps his forearm as he speaks. We're staying at the Meat and Cleaver by the docks, and I wouldn't recommend anywhere else. If you value your freedom, I'll see you there. He winks and heads off into the crowd. From somewhere nearby, you catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure disappearing behind a tent. Something about the way it moves is familiar. Oh, okay. So we can meet with Franker, or whatever his name is. Why can't I remember his name? Laugh with pleasure. A Flanker. Flanker, of course, Flanker. Without losing all our money to the Dancing Bear. How have you fared in Kare? The city is full of devils. It is indeed. But at least you have not had to face the portal traps. They will take your smile and move it to your throat, as we assassins say. Portal traps. Do not fear. You have not missed out. You have only survived this far because all the traps are on the other side of the river. He pauses to glance around him, as if he was waiting for something, but if so, he doesn't see it. I have a few minutes. Tell me of your quest. How goes it? The journey is long, but I am unbowed. Good. Glad you are still no coward. To be defeated is a shame, but to be defeated by a creature without a spine is torture. And his second cousin, Backstabber. Yeah, they know a lot about tactics, presumably. Flanker Tacticus, and his second cousin, Backstabber Tacticus. Tell me about these portal traps. Sounds like something worth knowing. The portal traps were laid by the early rulers of Kare, Flanker replies. Only the first noble has the power to position them and to disguise them, for portal traps can disguise themselves in plain sight. What kind of disguise? Anything, any material, any size. But there is one feature that cannot change. They are always the same shape. With one finger, Flanker draws a perfect circle in the air. I need to find a man named Lorag. Flanker thinks for a moment. I know him. He lives on the other side of the river, in the ghetto of the Red Eyes. He is the kind of fool that would live amongst such demons. But exactly where, I do not know. I've been told to find a priest. The only priest I know of is in the Shrine of Slang near the docks. Find the well and head directly uphill, and you will find it. But you must be prepared, for Slang does not trade fairly. That is all I have to share with you, you reply. Very well, he replies. He nods finally. But I must be away. Perhaps I will see you again later. I will be drinking at the Wayfarer's Rest tonight in the docks. Join me if you will. You nod to Flanker and return to the main throng of the fair. From across the field, the Dancing Bear seems to have run amok. Certainly the crowd around the dwarf is shouting and fighting. The event seems to be closed. New clues. Tell me about clues. Theta, Lord Lorag, a priest may know, and there's definitely some of this stuff that we can get through without getting the knowledge in-game, I feel. I feel like there's definitely some stuff we can accomplish even without having the in-game knowledge, but, not sure how much. We could just keep going. I'm not worried about it. Time to move on. Follow the road. We gotta go up to the well here, right? Where's the well? There's the bathhouse, which I'm just going to ignore. I think we just head uphill here. Follow the path that I followed before, because I know it gets me to where I want to go. Must be close to the docks. Go left! I'm gonna go up here, because this is where the shrine is. Yep. And this is all the same content that we did last stream. We did this exact same thing. So I'm not gonna spend too much time reading it, or reading it out loud. Examine the crowd. Anyone who can answer the question will be granted their wish. What is this challenge? It's the test of slang, the woman requires in a whisper. Yes, I went to slang last time, so I'm going to slang this. I just did a massive rewind, because I lost literally all of my gold, and didn't want to, try doing Lorags back in time with 0 gold, because I think I have a path through now that'll get me all of the various pieces of information I need. So this is going to be one of the lines. We'll get another line from Lorag. We'll get a third line from Theta. But before we visit Theta, we've got to go from Lorag to the market to buy the Sun Jewel. Once we buy the Sun Jewel, we can go visit Theta. And then we can go into the Necropolis, pick up the Silver Sword in the Necropolis. And then with the Sun Jewel, we'll have light down in the tomb. So I'm hoping that this will get us through all the pieces. I don't know that it will, but I'm hoping. We'll try it. Let's take the challenge. We know the answer to this one, fortunately. Welcome, stranger. Are you ready to take the challenge, knowing full well that very few succeed? I will try. If this doesn't work, it's game facts time. I'm willing to take another rewind if I have to. But yeah, we've spent a lot of time on this. Surprising amount of time, considering how quickly the first one went. But then again, we didn't need to hit all of the pieces of the first one. We just needed to get to a goal. I will not fail. The crowd cheer again. I see you have spirit. Good. Let's see if we can't break you. Alright, so I am choosing the impossible question, because I need to know the answer. Seriously. That is correct. Tell me the spell for the North Gate. I cannot tell you the spell in its entirety, but Mulas, the second noble, was a follower of slang. And the line he knew was, I bid you portals open wide. Cool. So now we have one spell line. Yet more clues that I have definitely read. And now, I guess we only go forward. So we'll go forward. Yep. So we could go hang out with Jira. I'm actually somewhat interested to see what goes on over there. Sleep in the market was successful before, so we'll probably just go do that if nothing pans out in the meat and cleaver. The Meat and Cleaver is a small, grimy place that looks like it's been converted from a wood store. Rats run across the floor, and the customers at the tables look haggard and tired, as if just smelling the air is draining them. By the bar, a stooped and hunched innkeeper wipes his beer mugs with a filthy handkerchief. Jira's here. You look about for Jira, but eventually it is he who spots you, waving from a particular dark corner of the inn. Come and sit with us, he calls. We've got food to share and company. Sure. Thank you. You follow him to his table and sit down with 3 others that you recognize from the performance at the fair earlier. Their table is spread with delicacies, fried hill fox feet, curried ball-eye beans, and a thin green plant in oil that might be stewed grass. You eat greedily. So, Jira says pleasantly, how have you enjoyed your day in Kare? City is filthy. Jira looks at his friends and they all laugh. It is, he agrees. But it is no one's fault. Everyone who lives here generates just as much mess as everyone else. One of the dancers, a tall, thin woman with a thoughtful expression, says, The problem is the poverty. Everyone is so poor, there's no one poor enough to clean the streets. Jira introduces his friend with a gesture. This is Almira. She's a dancer, but don't let that fool you. She's a thoughtful soul, if ever there was one. Almira nods her head. We can be polite. Greetings. Jira crunches on a battered skunk bear toe. Delicacy, I'm sure. So, he says, are you staying here tonight? I'm not sure yet. You're right not to be sure. I don't know many as would risk the beds at the Heated Reaver, or whatever this place is called. Owner makes good rat bone fritters, but he's a few giblets short of a casserole. Wow, that is a mess of a sentence. Where should I stay? The other inn isn't bad, though I hear that Vic tends to scoop up the drunks. He nods meaningfully. Who's he? Vic? Jira pulls a grim face. I wouldn't say Vic was a good man to know. Or rather, there's many who know him and wish they didn't. Vic's a bad man. Head of the slave ring, and looking to be head of a lot more, or so I hear. Almira agrees. They say he intends to overrun the council. That's impossible. But if he's planning it, I suspect he has a trick up his sleeve. What kind of trick? Oh well. She shakes her head. I have no idea, but Vic is a very clever man, indeed, and not afraid to work in league with sorcerers in the darker arts. Jira tries to lighten the tone, raising a toast with his mug. Leave them to it. Make your farewells and stand once more. Found a new clue. My clue is Vic. Vic. A man named Vic is a man named Vic. Alright, let's leave the inn. We're just gonna take a nap. This place is too disgusting. You turn and head back out. Walk back to the docks. Yep, we're just going to sleep in the market like last time because that worked out pretty well. Sleep. Oh, I guess it's a roll of the dice if something happens. You sleep soundly until you're wakened by the sound of footsteps in the stalls nearby. You wake immediately. Draw my sword! Quickly, you draw your sword from its sheath, ready to protect yourself. But the two men are talking, not coming nearer. Did you find any? One man asks. The second grunts. Nothing any good. I told him, the first replies. Snatch too many people and even Koreans will stay indoors. It's, kidnappers? Slavers? Either way, these men are clearly dangerous. You edge away between the stalls. Oh, I have to make decisions. Bad roll. You turn to the right and crawl towards the riverside, but with your sword in your hand, you cannot move quietly. Suddenly, the men's conversation stops. Did you hear that? One barks. Over there! You stay low. If you stand, you'll be seen immediately, and then the men might have friends with them. But amongst the stalls and stands, you must be invisible. The men look this way and that, but then disappear off into the market. You're free to sleep once more. Morning will be here in just a few more hours. Yep, this is the same dream as last time. That's cool. The next morning. As the sun breaks over the rooftops of Lower Kare, the city looks clean and bright, like a stone polished to a shine by a fast-flowing river. The effect lasts for a beautiful moment, and then the people of Kare begin to stir, opening their windows to throw out their slop, shouting and cursing at each other as they do so. What do I have here? Okay. Okay, cool. Let's head for the bridge, I guess. What does buying breakfast look like? 2 gold pieces, absolutely. That is an appropriate price for rations. You buy a slice of the bread. It is pleasantly filling, with a sweet, meaty texture. You thank the woman at the stall, then head over to the river to wait for the bridge to be lowered. After a while, a grizzled old man arrives and unlocks a small booth by the harbor bridge. He goes inside and closes the door behind him. Let's go through these motions. Good morning. Are you going to lower the bridge? When is time? Alright, I'll wait. It's fine. No big deal. Keep waiting. Help him! Alright, if you don't need the help, you don't need the help. Same as before. Crossing the bridge. So here we are, Northgate. So first order of business is Lorag. Oh yeah, we should drink from the fountain. Drinking from the fountain is good. Lorag's up here, so we could go down this way and then back up. Oh, this was Lorag. No, this one is Lorag's. Could go down this way and back up. Or we could go around here like I did last time, but then we had that like weird running from the youth's business. I'm just gonna go down into Fireview Square, and then back up this way. I think that'll be quicker. An elven woman is just leaving. Yeah, well, she's useless. She murmurs a hurried apology and races away without a second look. Good. I don't think we want to play games for our lives with this guy. Oh, man! I completely forgot about Swindlestones! I don't think we want to play more Liar's Dice, though. Not with this guy, anyway. We'll just keep on moving. Let's look at the creatures. We should look at stuff, right? Always look at stuff. Their eyes all seem to be closed. Look through the arch. Oh, should we go cheat the herbalist? That worked out pretty well for us last time, right? This was good fun. What are you selling? Mustang ointment. What does it do? Holds it out for you to smell. Don't smell it. You lean away, careful not to inhale from the salve. He smiles and takes a deep breath himself, sighing happily. Give me something else. You owe me. What else do you have? Blimberry salve. I'll take it. The potion will come in useful later. You bid the man farewell, and he walks away across the square. I don't care about the fruit vendor. Let's look at the alleyways. Always look at things. Well, maybe not always look at things, but usually look at things. I think it's time to move on. I think there is nothing else that I really want to do here. And I'm not super interested in a quick trip to the sewers. Oh, crap. I don't actually know the path. Huh. Now I'm thinking about it. I think the path that I was going to take leaves me with only half of the third line. Only half of Theda's line. So I might still need to teleport back and figure out the rest of the line by following the goblins. Like, that worked last time, right? Oh, I don't know. Well, at any rate, let's deal with Lorag. Because I think this is still correct. The other thing that I could do is steal the grappling hook first. I don't know actually if I could steal the grappling hook first. Maybe I can, because like there's down this way to steal the grappling hook, but that's just going to lead me down to the Fallen Quarter, right? And there's other stuff that I need to do first. So I guess let's do this first and then see what I can do. Young Orklings. Hurry to avoid them. Ignore them, because that works out pretty well for me. Lift the bag over my head. And take my leave. You bow to the little creatures and take your leave of them. They smile and snigger and wave as you go. It seems you have quite charmed them. Have I? I cast luck at Korrigan's temple, Regnar. It was cool. I don't know that it actually did anything for me, but it was cool. Look at the building. Alright, let's go talk to Lorag. But the last time... Is this a timeline without having earned Tisiphony's Eye? Tisiphony's Eye? What the hell is Tisiphony's Eye? How did I earn that last time? There's other spells too there? Cool. Yes. Oh, yes. I understand what you mean, Cryptomancer. Yes. This is a timeline without having killed the Council Guard. Alright, front door, because I don't really need to ransack the guy's junk. Use magic? Oh, I'm not going to dot my way into his house. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. I want to not do that. You rap 3 times. Yes, he demands. And who are you? You look a trustworthy sort. I'm a sorcerer, like you. I need your help. You certainly look like a drowning dog. He sighs. It seems you have placated him. Thank you. Let the stranger in. Sure, that's fine. Alright, Lorag. Give me a drink of water. So are you a sage or a sorcerer? Show him the Flayer's scroll. Oh! I wasn't able to do this before. Ooh. Okay, yeah. How do you feel about scrolls? Perhaps you can help me with something, you say, pulling the scroll you took from the Flayer from your bag. Lorag leans forward with interest at the sight of the runic script. He chews his beard as he pores over the text. Can you read it? You ask. I can, he nods, looking up and smiling. It's a recipe for soup. Oh well, nothing exciting. The old man seems to have a thought and goes over to a cupboard, taking out 2 glasses. Yeah, I'll take a glass of wine. Look around. Krishanti, the painting of a young man. How does a man of learning survive, you ask? You can't be at home among such ruffians as fill the streets of Kare. He laughs. This city isn't as bad as all that. Oh, well, perhaps it is. But in every city where there are children, there is a need for people who teach children. He shrugs. I teach the best lock-picking class in town. In a way, I'm a pillar of things here. All right. Told you can help me open the north gate. I will save it. If I say no, what happens here? Comes from the stars. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. That's fine, that's fine. Go on. There are other ways for magic to be wrought? And are there? Let me show you. Okay, so now we're into this game. I know. They're spells. I can guess its effect. It is a spell of confusion. What do you make of this one? Oh, it's a spell of mind reading. It's nice to know all the answers. Hey, Netwin, how's it going? I still don't know what happens if I take the paper out for him. That seems kind of weird. Maybe let's not do it. Well, this is still Zed. Let's just say I know of it. We can continue saying this thing. Okay, so we have his line. Maybe you can tell me more about the other lines? Okay, great. Shinva, yep. And this will get me the wig, so I guess I do this thing so I can get the wig. Breaking yourself to do hard life changes to become a better human being. Oh, good for you. Sounds like work. I'm having a good time. Alright, we're going to put on the wig, and we are going to protect ourselves from his magic. Cast protection. Hello? M-A-G. Protect! Shows you to the door. You retrieve the sword as you go. Alright, excellent. So we're in a good place here. We have 2 of the lines. And this is about where... This is about where we had gotten after like 3 hours of stream last Tuesday. So here we want to push onwards because we do want to talk to the blacksmith. So you missed nothing, basically, yeah. I had to rewind a bunch because it was messy. There was a bunch of stuff that wasn't working, and I really was mad that I had given up all my money. All right, so I want to get the line about Vic from this guy again. Tell me about your swords. Large hand? Large hand, the blacksmith agrees. It's large Andre. Give it back. I'm interested in the North Gate spell. I make sards, he replies with a shrug. Not magic. You want a sard, maybe? Large laundry. Yeah, exactly. Wait a minute. He didn't say the thing about Vic. Did I do something wrong this time? It was different. Why was it different? Hang on. I want you to say the thing about Vic. What did I do differently? What did I do differently? Tap his arm? I didn't mean to scare you. Tell me about your swords. Try the blade. I'll risk it. Give it back. Am I missing a clue that changes what his options are? Oh, I think I knew about Vic previously. And then here I asked him about Vic. Or I asked him about something? I asked him about politics? I don't know what I asked him about. Man, why didn't it work? Huh. Yeah, the large hand thing didn't change anything. Why didn't it work? I wonder how much the sword costs. Oh, Wolf Armor! That's right! I knew about Wolf Armor because I rewound having already seen Wolf Armor. That was it. And I don't have that option now. Okay. So this guy's not helpful. Okay, I don't want to turn down the alleyway, though. Because I want to push onwards to this area. We can walk on by the blacksmith. It doesn't matter. Because I want to go to here so I can check out this area. We can look at stuff. Look at the short street. Gambling halls of Vlada. Man, I wouldn't want to gamble at Vlada games. Sounds like a terrible idea. The statue is of a giant brute wielding a club, and at its feet is a large pot filled with gold pieces. This must be one of Kare's many gods, with the pot intended for worshippers making offerings. Although none of the passing creatures seem to be throwing any in. We want to go here. We want that sun jewel. It's a trap? Of course it's a trap. I will pay 15 gold for the sun jewel. Maybe we can haggle. You put the gem down on the table. But swindle stones. That's a fair point. You are not wrong, Regnar. Okay, that was a bad gambit. Rewind. We can still haggle. I'll give you 10. The jeweler looks at you like something that just crawled out of the sewers. The price is 15, he says. If you can't afford it, then you aren't the right customer. In Lower Kare, these cost 10. You remark as casually as you can. The jeweler narrows his eyes, but you've clearly caught his attention. I'm certainly having trouble selling that particular piece, he says. Tell me, what was the name of the jeweler offering this price? We have goals, Netoen. I'm not just going to let the game sidewind me into not getting things. Am I making up a name here? Do I know who either of these people are? Who have I met? That this might actually be... I guess I'll try them. Let's look at the dialogue tree. Alright, I'm gonna rewind. Again. Since he's never heard of Heathy. Jula? Never heard of her. Okay, so I need to, Alright, well, I'll just pay the 15 for it, it's fine. You hand over 15 gold pieces, and the jeweler hands you the sun jewel. You place the precious object into your pack and walk away into the market. Useful gear? What is useful gear? A tinderbox for lighting fires. A bottle of snake bite antidote. I'm cool. I'm not gonna get bit by snakes. And I have the sun jewel now. What am I gonna do with tinderbox? Test the bow. Silver-tipped arrows. Silver-tipped arrows. You lift the bow and test the string. It seems firm and responsive, and although you have little use for ranged weapons, this one seems hardy enough. The quiver is interesting. It contains 10 arrows, but each has a tip made not of steel, but pure silver. The armorer nods at you significantly as you discover this. For you know what. Of course. He nods again. 6 gold pieces. Ooh, do I throw 6 gold pieces at him? This is one way to deal with the problem. And might be a better way of dealing with it than the cursed silver sword I can get outside of the mausoleum. Hmm. Sure, I'll try it. I'd like the bow, you tell the armorer. He makes a great fuss of packaging it up, but eventually hands over the bow and the quiver. You pay him 6 gold pieces. You replace the goods and walk away. Provisions? Probably doesn't hurt to buy some actual provisions here. 6 meals worth for 15 gold pieces. Whoa. 3 gold pieces each. I was hoping for 2. Archery tuition. I think I know how to use the bow. I'm a mighty warrior! I'm a legendary hero, after all. I could buy a couple of meals, sure. Let's buy some provisions. Seems fine. Back up this way and around to try and buy a well. Well, we do need to go back down to here. So if I go this way, that's going to take us into the necropolis. So I guess we do have to go back up and around. How long have I been a mighty warrior? My entire life! I don't like what you're insinuating there, Netoen. You head back up the road towards the towering statue in the halls of Lada. You head back towards the square until you are standing in the shadow of the giant statue once more. The day is drawing on. Has something happened? Nah, not really. And we're heading down this way. Outside one building, a tall man stands with a grappling hook. What good is a grappling hook? I ask you this, ladies and gentlemen. You stride over to the man as he swings his grappling hook for an upper window but misses. Greetings, you begin with a respectful nod. The man turns to you. Stranger, I'm in a terrible fix. Did I figure out the flag building? It was Lorag's building. Yeah, it's not a problem. The Lorag was never a problem. The man gathers the rope for another swing. He is clearly tiring. What's the problem, you ask? I've been locked out, he answers. This is my home, and I've lost my key. But I've got a terrible throw, as you can probably see. The man throws again, and misses again. Are you a thief? You ask. Are you from the guard? He demands. No, you answer honestly. Just a passerby. And you should mind your own business or help, the man replies. He's clearly quite cross. I need directions, you say. Perhaps you can help me. Directions? Why, well, the man looks irritated, but not unhelpful. Certainly. Where do you need to go? The graveyard. He nods sadly. You can go this way through the wastelands, but it's dangerous. You'd do better to turn back and go through the marketplace. The man gives up. He winds up the rope around his shoulder, then cups his hands to his mouth. Esme, will you just open the door and let me in? For a moment, nothing happens. Then a bucket of slop is thrown out over the man. He stands dripping in muck. You want to scream guards? I don't think there's a lot of guards in Kare, it turns out. Alright, who is Esme? You ask from a safe distance away. Take my advice, stranger, he grumbles. Never marry an elven. They may have lovely eyes, but they're thoroughly untrustworthy. He stalks away up the alley. Time for you to move on. Tax money? Who do you think pays taxes in this city? I guess I'm not getting the grappling hook from him. That's fine. I'll live without it. The street is falling into disrepair around you. Something has blighted this region of the city. Even the trees in the gardens behind the mansions have turned black where they stand. The only greenery is the moss on the stone walls. There are no rats scurrying underfoot, and only spiders roost in the rooftops. You pass a particularly grand house, its doors locked with a heavy iron chain. What an Elvis! He married her! There is a metal S bolted beneath one gable. Perhaps it is an owner's mark. Perhaps it's there to stop the wall falling out onto the street. There is a ringing noise from down the alley. A hooded creature with a bell around his neck is approaching in shuffling steps. I want to cast Sus here. I am curious and suspicious. You cast the spell and a calm voice enters your mind. It tells you that the house before you is empty of anything important, even of ghosts, but that the creature approaching is quite deadly. Then the voice fades away. Yeah, I spend my stamina, or sometimes I use like a focus object, and then that negates the need for a stamina expenditure. But it all depends on the spell. Some spells require stamina, some spells require a focus. Hurry onwards. You ignore the shuffling creature and leave the empty house behind. A narrow alley opens up to your left, slipping between the buildings. No, we follow the road, because we need to go down into the wasteland. The buildings are thinning out. Through a gap between roofs, you can make out a tall, crooked steeple some way away, like a finger pointing up towards the heavens. A dark shape sits at its very tip. As you watch, the shape seems to grow wide, then flatten once more, as though it had opened and closed. A bird, perhaps? Or simply a flag, draping downwards in the still air. Into the wasteland. You emerge from the alley into a wide area of wasteland. Once this was a busy city district, but now it looks as though a hurricane has leveled it. Nothing stands higher than head height. A few staircases lead to nowhere, and in some places a door still stands. No registration or SMS required. Amazing! How lucky. Boy, that sounds like a really useful app. I should definitely get that. Things are constantly moving and shuffling between the leaves. The road, such as it is quickly smothered by piles of wreckage. There are lots of other ways to pick your way through. One possible route leads up and over the side of a broken-down house. Another passes by what might have once been a mill. You would have to climb over the mill wheel to continue this way. I believe based on what we know, that I do not want to touch the gigantic mill wheel. It has not even lost its perfect circular shape. I'm going to climb the house. You clamber up the fallen rubble to the roof of the broken building. From here, you get a clear view across the rest of the wasteland. It stretches for a mile or two, and will take about an hour to cross on foot, and at its far side, A tall iron fence thick with ivy slices across the land, perhaps to keep the people of the wasteland out, or to keep whatever's beyond the fence in. In the distance, you see dark shapes moving across the sky. There's no need to stop and eat. I have already eaten today. So we need to go this way in order to talk to Theta. So let's go talk to Theta. Give him something? Let's see if Who Are You actually works. Who are you? I need to know that he's Theta before I get here. God damn it. How did I find out that Theta was a beggar? Who did I talk to about this? God, who told me about Theta? Give him something? What can I give him? Well, I guess giving him a coin lets me do something here. That's true. If only I hadn't cheated. You're so right, Netoen. Oh no, not again. Every time. What's the matter? God-cursed harpies. Don't worry over much, Netoen. But if you keep harping on things, I will absolutely sass you back. Alright, well, I can defend him. This is a good idea, and maybe he'll still give me the spell thing. Do I cast a spell? I think I could just fight him. I think I could just fight him. Yeah, this is fine. You draw your sword and shove the beggar back into the shelter of the church. Keep your blind head down, you declare. Let's see. If I'm remembering the harpies correctly, they mostly did nothing here, right? Ah, apparently not. The harpy rises to the steeple and perches. I don't know what perch is. That's not a tell I'm familiar with. Let's try 1 point. Just under 2. See where that gets me. Okay, so that's defense. All right. But it is well out of reach. I don't know what it's doing here. It's not doing anything. Yeah! Oh, that worked. You take advantage of the harpy's panic to press forward. Your blade sings as it parts the air, overpowering the harpy's beating wings and tearing claws. The harpy drops suddenly as it flies. Dark blood sprays across the dirt. It flexes its long talons as it turns in the air once more. It is still fighting. Do I think I can attack it here? I don't know what this tell is. Like, I don't want to sit here and take avoidable damage. But I also don't know if I have enough damage to get over whatever it's going to do here. I'm just going to defend. Okay. Again, no tell. So that's probably going to be like a medium amount of damage. Oh, apparently no tell is literally nothing I can do about it. Oh. Either something huge or it circles out of reach. So defend. Defend. Okay, good. Flies up to the roof of the old building. Also defend. Also defend. It's circling me. So let's hit big. Good choice. 3 stamina lost. That's skilled? Nah, we'll try that again. We could do better. It hasn't gone above 6. Oh, I lied. That was exceptionally bad. No tell, so that's a defend. So if I point 1... Oh. No, that's a big hit. Jeez. Alright, well, this isn't working. Old PC become a new dev test project? Cool, congratulations. It circles out of reach. Okay, so we just defend, because that doesn't matter. Creature's eyes glow with an evil glare. Alright, big attacks. Kick its ass. It hadn't gone above 6, right? Okay, so the Dark Blood effect is a medium attack. This is no tell, which is either huge or defend. I'm wrong. It's still fighting. Okay, this is going to be an attack. Alright, we're definitely trying again, because that was miserable. Opening swing. It glows with an evil glare. I have no idea how big this attack is. Is 4.9 enough? Let's find out. It's not! I don't like this. Rises to the steeple and perches. We just defend. Wheels high into the air, screaming to the other. Big attack. Okay. Alright, so I'm kind of figuring this out. Game doesn't have difficulty options? What do you mean? Like, Iron Man mode as a difficulty option? It seems counter to the way the game is intended to work. Really? Now it's attacking. Oh my god, why? No tell, 1.7. No tell, 4.1. Jesus Christ, miserable. Not as far as I know. Rises to the steeple and perches is defend. Wheels high, screaming. Alright, kick its ass. It circles out of reach, defend. Flies up to the roof of the old building, defend. It arcs far above the ground. Is that also defend? That's also defend. Wow, wild. Eyes are on fire. It's attacking. Not competent combat. Terrible combat. I still don't know what's going on with the first attack. Like, it's just, we just don't have information. Sometimes it attacks, sometimes it doesn't. So I think we have to go for it. Pretty unfortunate. Now we don't know what it's doing. Do I think a 5 will beat whatever it's doing? Apparently not. I mean, bigger stats or not, like I think it's just based on the enemy. This is kind of a rough fight, to be honest. It is still fighting as a low attack. Okay. That's a defend. Circles out of reach is defend. Flies up to the roof is defend. It arcs far above the ground is defend. Flying away. It swoops high in the air. Come on, buddy. Evil glare. Alright, kick its ass. I can do better than 3 stamina lost. I really can. I just don't want to defend on the first hit. Because, yeah. It's like it knows. It knows. Where do you find strength to fix your broken nose? Why do you have a broken nose? What happened? Is this something that you have to do on your own? You stay low. The heartbeat flashes around you, threatening but not connecting. Okay, so no tell, which means I can probably attack it. That's apparently wrong. Now it's attacking. Jeez, so bad. So bad. I should have killed it there. Like, I can't even get another strike. Okay. Charge. Yeah. The creature swoops low across him. So that's an attack? No, apparently not. Oh, yeah, it is. Wheels high. Whoa. Really? No tell. I can attack? Yep. That would be done by... Okay, I would hope so, yeah. If it's an old injury, then definitely find somebody to do it for you. 3 days in a hospital just to re-break your nose? Yikes. Maybe don't bother. Is it worth it? Like, what value do you get out of it? Oof. This thing is baiting me. Still fighting. This I can sideswipe. No longer be clogged all the time. That does seem like it has value. Defending that one. Because I can't beat it. Okay. I mean, if it's worth it to you, then do it. Absolutely. Nope. How many times am I going to retry this? The real question is, how many times is this dude going to be a jerk? Alright, we're just going to defend on the first attack. And wait until we get tells. No tell. Beats me by 0.1, are you kidding me? Still fighting is a small attack, so I can like 1.9 and get value. Woof, exactly. Purchases defend. No tell. Okay. This is still not good enough. We're trying to get better than 3 stamina. If I can get 1 stamina, then I'll take that. You gotta be safe. God, I can defend. Circles out of reach, defend. Circles, threatening but not landing a blow. Oh. That was no tell. Okay. Preparing to strike. Good. Smack. I'll take 2 stamina. Whatever. At this point, I'm done with this stupid fight. Cut open the nose, fix what he can, remove what he can't. Ooh. Interesting. And I am way worse off here. Oh god, yeah, we're starting off with a defend here. Correct. Literally couldn't have done anything about it. He's going for your head! I bet I can kick his ass here. Smack. Good. It darts away up into the ancient rafters. Cool. Defend. Correct? Correct. Circle. This one preceded a small attack last time. Apparently not that small. The beggar hears you cry out and covers his ears with his hands. I don't know what that means. This is a small attack. Hangs in the air a short way back, claws grasping. Also a small attack, apparently. Screams as it crosses the sky. That's a huge attack. Cool. Good thing I defended. Talons flexing. Yep, small attack. But that was miserable. We'll try that again. Yep, start off with that defense. Don't let him get you, cries the beggar, unhelpfully. I keep going just like a little bit lower than he does. Claws grasping, also a small attack. No tell. I'll just defend. Talons flexing. Smack. Big hits. 5 stamina. I'm not going to take that. Yeah, I'll settle for 2. I'll settle for 2. 3 is pretty miserable. Oh, wait. So yeah, start off with a defend. Because the 1 is always going to happen, so I'll settle for 2. Talon Stretched is a small attack. Claws Grasping, also a small attack. Oh, come on! That's a big attack. Punish him. Talon's Flexing is small. Ready to drop on you? I don't think... If it's an actual attack, I can't do anything about it. Further than your sword length. Claws Scraping the dirt. Is that also a small attack? Looks like it. Do I just settle? I think I just settle. This has been a mess. The beggar creeps out from his hiding place and thanks you 2 or 3 times over. Tell me truthfully, who are you? Why are those harpies after you? The beggar looks at you, thinking hard, then shakes his head. If you do not know my name already, he says, then it is best forgotten. Well, we know who he is. He's Theta. He tries to deny it, but his pause is too long to be believed. Finally, he sighs. I am, or I was before I was destroyed. Lord Theta, I'd like to talk to you. He sighs. That's my name. I don't deny it. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you happily. Ever since the blindness struck me down, I've been tormented by those demons, and now they're dead. You've saved me. As much as I can be saved. Tell me your spell line. Bribe him? I can't quite remember. Another gold piece? I mean, I would have gotten it by waiting anyway. Well, he can have some food. That's fine. Wait with interest. Here is my story. I used to collect tax in this city, but I didn't account truthfully. That's why those harpies haunted me. As revenge for everything I ever took for myself. I give the most valuable piece of it now to you. With that, he holds out a ring of silver, fashioned in the shape of a serpent that coils twice around your finger. This is a talisman to protect you from serpents. Please take it. It will be useful to you, I know it. Okay. You take the ring, placing it onto one finger, and thank him. You can't help wondering if you will ever learn if it is truly a powerful item, or just a trinket. He smiles contentedly. Perhaps, he says, I feel a little better now. One more time with the try to remember. You can ask Kurga. Oh yeah, we can ask Kurga. Okay. So Kurga can help us out with this as long as that works out. Tell me about Kurga. Start with the left eye. Yep. What happened to your eyes? This is the same. Were you? Mulas was. Yep. Okay. All right. Cool. The rest of this is the same. Down to the edge of the wasteland. We could go for the compass, but I think I'll dodge. Actually, depending on what it costs me, the compass might be worth it. But that entirely depends on what it costs me. Like, if I have to lose the Sun Jewel to get the compass, it's definitely not worth it. But I don't know what it'll take. And it's random, right? Like, I don't have a choice. It feels like the compass is potentially really helpful once I get out of here. Oh yeah, or the serpent ring. Fair enough. The serpent ring. It's in my treasure. Bow and silver arrows. The scroll. Well, let's try it, and if it's something I don't want to lose, I'll just rewind. I think that's fine. Look at all that stuff. Greetings, gnome. Choose the compass. Probably won't work at the countryside outside Kare. Ah, okay. Never mind then. I'm good here. And I don't think I care enough about the bamboo flute. Do I care about the flute? I think it's the same deal. Depending on what he takes, it might be worth it. What? That's 2 items so far? Excuse me? Has anything changed here? I don't think anything has changed here. I've lost the serpent ring. I'm gonna rewind. Greetings, gnome. Alright, so if I look at my items... Skullcap, 352, Wig Jewel Mirror, and the Serpent Ring. And if I take the bamboo flute, the gnome smiles. Anything else? What has changed? Bamboo flute, Wig Jewel flute. It still cost me the ring. Okay, so it's going to take the ring every time. How do I feel about the ring versus the flute? The flute opens up a spell that I wouldn't otherwise have access to. The ring, we have no idea. Arcana music? Does it use the same music? That'd be really interesting. I don't know, Regnar, do you think it's worth it? Or is the ring good enough that... Is the ring actually useful to the point that I should keep it instead of taking the thing? Ring is useful? Okay. That's kind of the direction I'm leaning, because, like, the jig spell feels very narrow, and the ring seems like it would be more useful than that. I'm okay with rewinding this. Alright, to the fence. Let's cast a spell. We cast Pop here last time, and it worked to get through the foxhole. So I'm okay with doing that again. That was fun. You cast the spell over one of your pebbles and toss it at the gate. It explodes on impact. Cool. Look at the name of part 3. What is the name of part 3? I don't remember. I don't know that I've seen the name of part 3. Wriggle through the foxhole. That's good. Okay. Look around the gravestones. Alright, let's go, buddy. Into the thing. Into Shinva's mausoleum. Something about 7 serpents? Oh, really? Freaky. Look at the ring. Cast. Mag worked for this, as did Big. And I think they are equal in terms of, like, cost. So let's just mag ourselves through here. So here's the other question. Do we need to worry about the trap? I'll take a look later, Netwin. Or just go in. Alright, we definitely sus first. This trap on the floor, is there a way to not trigger it? Can I cast a spell here to not trigger it? That's interesting. What are my options for spells? Can I howl? I cannot howl here. I could dop. Does dop do anything? That seems unlikely. I could fog? Summon darkness? I don't think I want darkness. I could say fall. No, yeah, the other stuff doesn't seem to help me. I guess we can mag again, but that doesn't seem like it'll affect the trap. Okay. So we'll trigger the trap. I have found a new clue. Only silver weapons can harm the undead. Yep. Go down the stairs. Door is swinging shut. Yep, it's just gonna happen. Let it close. In the dark. Time to cast Sun! I finally have the goddamn Sun Jewel. You cast the spell and the Sun Jewel in your pack begins to throb? Throw and ebb. Weird. Growing brighter and brighter until it fills the room with a pale but brilliant light that reveals the mausoleum for what it is. Old stone and dust. And nothing worse than that. Feel the door for catches. You go over to the door, running your fingers around the edges of the stones, hoping to uncover a hidden catch. But it seems whoever made this trap didn't want their prisoners to escape. You find nothing. You head for the stairs once more, holding your light out in front of you. You make your way cautiously down the ancient stairs into the dead earth. The walls are damp, and there is a foul smell of decay. The only sound is a dripping coming from somewhere in the depths. You emerge into a large dark chamber, lit only by the light from your sun jewel. A coffin occupies the center of the room, covered over by dust and spiderwebs. Wait and watch? Interesting. Huh. You hang back, taking a few breaths to ensure the room is silent. That's when you hear the sound, a moan, and a rattle of chains. Coming from inside the coffin itself, the lid is moving back. Fascinating. Push it closed. I don't think anybody likes that. But then the Dreadwraith is Shinva's spirit? Maybe if I trap it, I could talk to it. Ah, well, that didn't help. You race forward to shove the coffin lid closed, and so you do not see the ghostly figure emerging behind you from the alcoves until its cruel dagger is piercing your back. Oh, I lost some stamina as a result, right? I think I lost some stamina. You spin around to see a death wraith looming over you. Death wraiths, like all ghosts, can only be harmed by weapons of silver, but it is quite capable of causing you harm. Attack! Let's fire an arrow. Working quickly, you unsling the bow from your back and notch an arrow. The death wraith grins with abhorrent glee, until you let fly and the arrow strikes it in the arm. It howls with pain, shocked and angered at being hurt. What follows is a terrible fight. With every arrow you fire, the death wraith staggers back, but as you reload the bow, it creeps nearer again, slashing at you with its knife. Even as the quiver starts to run low, you know each arrow counts, and should even one miss, then Shinva's tomb will become your own. As you reach for your last arrow, the death wraith beams with glee. It is weakened, but still not yet defeated. You fire the last arrow, aiming directly for the death wraith's heart. The bolt flies true, and the silver arrowhead buries deeply into the specter's being. It begins to flicker and fade, and then, with a last tortured gasp, it slumps to the floor, and through it, melting away into the cold stone. The crypt becomes peaceful as the battle ends, but then there is a creaking sound that makes you look back at the coffin. It has opened, and a figure is rising up. This has got to be Shinva, right? Wait. Shinva. Excellent. So changes parameters, what they were at that page. Interesting. Strange, he declares in a quavering voice, his throat thick with dust and cobwebs. I am in a great debt to you. Now at last can my soul die in peace. Tell me quickly before I am lost. How may I repay you? You stare in amazement. This must be the fifth noble, Lord Shinva himself. Maybe, Lord Shinva, you could stop dropping plates on the poor people in, oh, what the hell is the name of the city in FF7? I'm terrible. Why can't I remember this? Midgard? I think it was Midgard. Midgar? Probably was Midgar, with no D. I have come to find out about the North Gate. You come looking in a strange place, then, the old man replies. The only gate down here leads to the underworld, and I have been denied it for a very long time. The old man is visibly crumbling in front of you. But you are Lord Shinva. The old man nods. I am, or I was, once the fifth noble of the city, would you believe? With no D? That's now how you remember Midgar. All right. Well, I am happy to have gifted you this particular piece of information. How's it going, Ed? And you? Who are you? I am from Analand. Analand? What interest does Analand have in the ways of Kare? His eyes are piercing and shrewd, despite there being no light or soul behind them. I travel to the Backlands. I see. So you need to pass through the North Gate. And for that you must know the spell. Perhaps you know it already. Do you know it? I know one line, Shinva replies. One lock made of golem's hide. I wish you luck finding the others. But tell me, what lies in the Backlands that Analand could want? Mompang and the Crown of Kings. Shinva looks startled. The crown? What of the crown? It has been stolen. He looks deeply troubled. Then today is a good day to die. The Crown of Kings is an ancient object, you understand, from a time when the world was young and great forces stalked the land. Forces too great for such as we are today. Powers that could shape beings and minds with the slightest whim, and mold the land and sea to their will. Do you understand what the crown does? It provides influence. Much more than that. Only once was I in the power of the crown. He shudders. As it passed from Lenderland to Bryce, I was an envoy at the court when it arrived. It has the power to turn your will to another's without you knowing that it is happening. You can see the power of that. No one under the influence of the crown can ever revolt, as they do not understand that they are in servitude. Trickles of dust rain down from the roof of the crypt. What can you tell me of the Backlands? Very little. Oh, but I remember one couplet, told to me in my crib. Will you hear it? I'll take any information at this point. Please. For sleeping of the sleepless ram, seek out the one they call the sham. I guess this is just a nursery rhyme they tell babies, huh? Weird nursery rhymes in this day and age. Shinva shakes his ancient head. I could not tell you what the sleepless ram is, but perhaps it is advice and not mere nonsense. Farewell, old man. Farewell, stranger. May your life and fate be better than mine. You found another spell line! Huzzah! Finally, with a withered finger, he directs your attention to a gnarled rope that hangs down in one corner of the room. That controls the trap on the door, he declares with a groan. Sweet. Cut the rope! You slash the rope with your sword. A heavy counterweight falls and shatters to the floor. Lord Shinva nods and drifts toward his coffin. I give the last of my life to you, he whispers as he lies back into his grave. Yo, nice. You feel the cold strength flood your veins, then turn quickly and make your way upstairs. Man, Sun Jewel! Sun Jewel completely broke this wide open. The Dark Souls of Choose Your Own Adventure novels. It's so unnecessary. Step outside. You return through the open door to the path, still shivering from your meeting with a ghost. You avoid the ring of mushrooms as you leave. Good, good. Outside, night is falling, and things are stirring between the moaning trees. You would do well not to linger here. Well, let's not linger. Throw in a coin? Keep having these options. I don't know that I want to. I'll pull up the bucket, though. The water is, in fact, delicious. Trick of the moonlight? Okay, I'll throw in a coin. You got me. It falls for a long while, then you hear a distant tiny splash. Well, good enough. I would just as soon not run into Vic here, so we're going to go to the ziggurat. I mean, we need to go talk to Korga anyway, and hopefully at this point, Korga will actually give me the information I desire. Halfway up. Walk around to the north face. Let's look at stuff. There's stuff on the north face. Watch the torches. Up we go. The weary climb. Do I want to go to the top and cast a spell first? The opening is guarded by rock-sculptured images of unimaginable creatures. Beyond, you see a long, dark hallway with something large and gleaming at the far end. Well, I don't need to be lucky in order to get the answer off of Korga. Which is not to say that I am guaranteed to get the answer off of Korga. Just that luck won't help me get it. We could still try and cast some random spells, and see what other spells there maybe are. I do like experimenting. If you were a true mage, and not a mere sorcerer, who knows what spells one could weave at a spot like this? So I think we have R and K. Yes, we only have R's and K's as the last letter. And then we have A's, E's, and U's for the middle. So, lar, lair, lure, lock, lek, luck. We tried luck, and that was cool. Par, pair, pure might be a thing. Pack, peck, puck, probably not. Tar, tear, tour, tack, tech, tuck. I don't know. Let's try pure. I feel like this should do something. Ah, it is. Cool. You fashion the stars into alignment, and an enchantment is created. For a moment, nothing more seems to happen. And then a screeching noise reaches you from the distance and across the city. Purr. Not pure. Purr. It is the sound of 1,000 mewling stray cats. It lasts a few minutes, and then fades away. You have found one of the secret spells of the Temple of Korga. Great. Thank you for this. The view is quite wondrous, but your journey beckons. You start the long climb down the ziggurat once more. Alright, we gotta open the temple. We gotta go into the temple. It seems that this is the ziggurat of Korga the Gracious. Wait and listen. But I am protected against things, no? Okay, well... I don't remember if it attacks at first. I think it does. I think it attacks again. Ooh, so it does. But, not in a way that I was... You feel the prickling of the serpent's poison as it burns its way into your veins. Seems bad. Is that going to be enough? Nope. We are definitely redoing this fight. $11 stamina lost. Yeah, let's try that again. Because it starts off with a huge attack, right? Okay. Now it's going to work out the way I want to. So this should be good enough. We should kill it in 2 hits. That's what I was looking for. Killing it in 2 hits. Good. A cunning trick of architecture catches the wind past the doorway and creates a constant ethereal humming, as though a crowd of monks sat in a permanent meditation inside. Further in, Korga. As usual in the city port of Kare, avoid the circles. Read the inscription for funsies. And kiss the idol. We start with the left eye. Move on to the right eye. Go up to the forehead. And skip the nose, ending with the lips. I have used my wits. 3 questions if I have questions to ask. Oh, fantastic. You take a moment to think over everything you have learnt, and not learnt, about the Northgate spell. You remember Theta and his poorly remembered spell line. By Korga's grace and something's pride. Who is the god of pride? You listen closely as the idol replies to your question. The god of pride is my own brother. His name is Forga. But he has fallen from favor without our pantheon of deities, and has not been worshipped by the people of Kare for close on a century. You straighten up, pleased. You now know the complete version of Lord Theta's line of the gate spell. The god waits for your next question. What will my fate hold in the Backlands? The Backlands is a place of emptiness and desolation, but one that will be very dangerous to you. 7 enemies await you there. I already have the spell. How can I avoid... Ooh, what value do I get from Ask Nothing More? That's an interesting one. Alright, no intrinsic value. That's fine. That is all, you tell the god, straightening to your feet once more. A great silence descends across the room, and then the god speaks once more. Now, he intones, I have a question for you. You have completed my ritual. Do you wish to enter my worship? What sort of god are you? Korga seems to almost smile. I am the god of grace, he replies. There are few as generous as I. But then, do I have to give up the gorilla? I like being the gorilla. What's to enter a worship? I believe it means to worship him. Like, to basically change my religion. So that I am worshiping him instead of any other god. Yeah, join the cult. It's probably a good way of thinking about it. What happens to me if I say no? No. But I am grateful for the offer. So be it. There is a brief murmuring as Korga blesses you, gracious even in rejection, and then the temple falls quiet once more. You turn and head out of the temple door. Your clues have been updated. That's all 4 lines! We did it! The Sleepless Ram is a new one. That's cool. Serpent Ring didn't help me here, unfortunately. Alright. Then, I guess let's move on. Feel like I've gotten as much value out of here as I'm going to. Climb back down. Look at the view! Wait longer! Wait longer! Let's not get harassed by Vic. Let's just move on. I don't care about Vic. I'm done here. I'm sure there's a ton more to learn, right? It seems like there's a lot of lore and backstory and other stuff going on here. And I'm kind of okay with just moving on past. Let's go cautiously. I haven't gone through here, huh? You make your way slowly forward, trying to ensure your feet do not crunch too loudly on the gravel. Something is keeping pace with you, just behind the tree line, stalking you. That big rewind paid off, yep. Be kind, rewind. You stop and turn to look into the trees. There's the faintest flicker of a gleam, and that is all the warning you get. A wild bristle beast leaps out from the trees and knocks you down. You scramble for your sword. I wonder if this is the same bristle beast as I wonder if this is Aurelius, right? Given that we're up against Lord Morag's ghost here. Big hits. It drops its head low. That's a small attack, right? Maybe that's a big attack? Small attack, it turns out. Dribbles and cries in a pitiful wail is a small attack, but I don't know if I have enough here, so I'll just defend. Ooh, it's a big attack. Its spines bend, that's a defend. So we can do, like, small jab here and feel good about that. Drops its jaw. I have no idea what that means, but let's attack it. Small attack. That'll work. Clearly weakening. Cool. Cool. Lucky. I'll take that. Decent dueling. Thank you. The night air falls silent once more. You have reached the north gate. The ground before it is wide and clear, and lit by blazing torches set into brackets either side of the enormous sealed doors. Should there be archers hiding in the shadows, they would have a clear sight on you. Off to one side is a well, but there is no other cover. Throwing caution to the wind, you step out of the shadows and approach the gate. Time to see if you've learnt enough on your travels through the city to unlock it. Let's recite the spell. When there is no response, you call out, "I am here to open this gate!" There is no response. You begin to wonder if you've been tricked, if there is no gate here at all, and this is simply an illusion painted across a solid stone wall. Suddenly, you're not alone. A phantom voice issues from the wood itself. "Halt, stranger!" it booms. "Do you know the spell which controls the gate?" "I do." This was the second one, right? I have the poem. I have the poem. Poem! Using my, my pre-rewind knowledge here. Oh, Korga's Grace is the first line. Okay. So, by Korga's Grace and Forga's Pride. Something is definitely moving in the corner of the clearing, but you can't stop now. One lock made of golem's hide. The voice waits for you to continue. A low humming emanates from the wood itself. Tumblers, too, sealed deep inside. The humming inside the gate is building. I bid you portals open wide. You stand back to see what effect your lines have had. The voice has gone silent. You wait impatiently to see what will happen. Then the gate creaks. The tumblers drop and the wooden panels begin to move. The door is opening. Booming out, the voice declares, "The gate is under your control." But it is moving slowly. Looking over your shoulder, you see an army of goblins emerging from a well shaft. And they're racing towards you! Stand and fight? I don't actually know what to do here. We could just bolt. But I think we need to save the city, right? You stop, one hand on your sword, your mind searching for spells. But there are already 40 goblins or more in the clearing, with more appearing. You cannot hope to defeat them all. Behind you, the gate to the backlands is open. You hear a noise from outside. A screeching sound. I did tell Lorag I would save the city. You turn and look through, peering into the darkness of the wasteland beyond the wall. Figures are moving. More low figures. They're calling to each other, moving towards the opening door, preparing to rush into the city. The goblins from the well are slowing down now, fanning around you as they watch. Are they planning to attack the figures outside the wall? Or are they waiting to be joined by them? You must save the city, despite knowing it will trap you inside and end your quest. You heave on the gate to close it, but it will not move. Command me! The voice booms in your head. You control me. You rush through the gate into the Backlands. So now I can close the gate, right? Now close the gate. In the darkness around you, figures are moving, pouring towards the gate into the city. Inside, you see the goblins, still coming. Gate! You command desperately. Close! The gate obeys immediately, swinging shut like a trap. From the low hills around, red-faced marsh goblins are springing up and pouring towards the sealed gate like flies onto a fallen ox. They begin to scramble on top of one another, trying to bridge the wall with their own bodies. The goblins must be destroyed. As though on command, a ghostly figure forms in the air before you. You control the gate, the figure whispers. Use it. You stare at the figure. It is Lorag, the scholar! What is he doing here? Try? It is hopeless. How can you use a magic you don't know? You close your eyes, feeling your anger and frustration rising. The hated goblins, this meddling specter, the long and difficult road behind, and the one still to come, all seem to bite into your very soul with wolf-like teeth. There is suddenly a terrible sound, and a smell of burning. You open your eyes. There is not a goblin in sight, just blackened grass around the gate and black soot in piles on top of the wall. The ghost nods slowly to you. All the hatred of a whole city, of thieves and liars and murderers, stored for centuries. A little leaked out into the red eyes. The rest was waiting for this. For one, strong of heart enough to use it. He gestures to the path ahead. Go, be safe. The road is long. You nod and turn to go. I think we've finally done it, you guys. I think we've escaped. From a short distance away, you look back to see the plain outside the gate is quite empty. Not a single marsh goblin remains. Not a single short sword or hooked pick. It's like they've been wiped from the surface of the earth. And inside Kare, something similar must have occurred, as where there was the sound of clashing swords, there is now only silence. You have saved Kare, a foul city, perhaps, but not one whose citizens deserve to die by a goblin's sword. You turn your back. Your own road lies ahead, through the plains of Back, and on towards Mampang. The Backlands await. You remember the words of the Sightmaster Sergeant as you left the outpost settlement. Once you have crossed the city port of traps, you will enter the Backlands. They say that day and night are controlled by forces other than the sun, and from Kare, too, your progress will be watched. Cool. Man, that took a lot. That took a lot. In the course of your journey, you saved the city port of Kare from destruction. You played 2 games of Swindlestones, winning one and losing one. Woo! I rewound past all the games of Swindlestones I played. You learnt the truth about what the crown does, a riddle about the sleepless ram, and that silver weapons harm the undead. You collected an impressive number of magical artifacts. A large lump of beeswax, a cloth skullcap, 2 pebbles, 5 blimberry potions, 2 giant's teeth, a green-haired wig, a gold back mirror, and 1 sun jewel. Also, you found a serpent ring. You are still armed only with your original sword, and have 1 ration, 9 gold pieces, and a spellbook. Sorcery 3, the 7 Serpents. Oh. Well, we should probably save it. And now we have a new cloud save spell name, Jekiga. Continue. Your read test? Sounds like your hard drive is working out correctly. Play part 3 now. Yep. Cool. No synthesizers. What is this? No synthesizers. That's it. Cloud save names being like old school passwords. Yeah, I like it. You don't like the results? Why not? Not what you were looking for? Well, that feels good. Feels good to be done.